everyone, and welcome back to Community Action Now. This is our February 2022 episode, and we have with us now for the second half of the show a few students from Bellevue West High School's Fbla club. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we will talk a little bit about what Fbla does, what it is, and all of that good stuff. So Paige, if you want to start with an introduction.
Okay, my name is Paige. I am a senior at Bellevue West. I'm a co-captain for my winter guard team, for my varsity team, and I'm on the leadership team for Fbla and operations manager for NHS, as well as a bunch of other activities, and I do track as well.
Okay, very cool.
Hello, my name is Javon Jarmon. I'm also on the leadership team for Fbla. I'm also in DECA Cyber Patriot with our open division and on the varsity esports team. I did football my freshman year, and I'm planning on doing track at the end of this year.
Very cool.
And I'm Ashlee. I'm a senior at Bellevue West. I'm a co-captain for my school's speech team, and I'm also on the Fbla leadership team. I'm the secretary for the National Honor Society, NHS, and I also do a lot of volunteering, and I work at Old Navy.
Very cool. So tell us first, what does Fbla stand for?
So Fbla stands for the Future Business Leaders of America. We basically just help students get opportunities for their future through volunteering and competing on the national and state level. I know a lot of students have gotten a lot of opportunities. I mean, I personally got my job through Fbla. Okay. So yeah, it's just proven to be a really beneficial organization.
And it is a national organization, correct?
Yes.
So there are other Fblas all over the country.
Yep.
And then do you work with them? Do you talk to the other chapters or meet with them or anything ever?
So we do meet with them about 3 or 4 times a year.
Okay.
We have these state, national, and fall leadership conferences. Basically, at those conferences, we just compete against one of them or the other chapters, and we just communicate with them. We do a lot of team bonding experiences with them, so we do have a lot of communication within chapters.
Very cool. So when you say compete, what does that mean? When you compete with other Fbla groups, what does that mean exactly?
So basically, each person in the chapter picks about 5 different events that they think that they want to try and compete in.
Okay.
And the other Fbla chapters do that as well. And you basically can choose tests, presentations, interviews, and you basically do those events, and then you get scored against the other chapters. And that's basically how they figure out your placement.
And we compete at the State Leadership Conference. It's going to be in April this year in Kearney.
Okay.
So basically we compete as individuals, sometimes against one another, but we do compete against a lot of other Fbla chapters, either all over Nebraska. And right now we are one of the biggest Fbla chapters in Nebraska, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Very cool. Fbla, can you start as a freshman, or is it an upper level club?
No, you can start as a freshman.
So have you all been in from the beginning?
Yes.
I have, yes.
Okay.
I've done it for 2 years, so I started junior year, and but this is my first year on the leadership team.
Okay, and what does being on the leadership team entail?
Basically, you get your own mentees and your own group of people that you basically, since they don't really know exactly how to do everything, you kind of help guide them exactly how to do events, how to sign up for events, what they want to do. So you basically just guide them throughout.
Very cool. What made you guys want to join Fbla?
So I joined Fbla when I was a freshman. It was actually my first club because I wanted to kind of get more involved, have more friends. I was new to Bellevue in general when I entered high school, so I felt that getting into Fbla would be a great opportunity, and it has proven to be one. Yeah.
And what about you two?
I started my junior year. I mostly learned from my brother because he did it all 4 years, I'm pretty sure. and he'd always talk about like competing and all the stuff that they did, and it kind of like sparked my interest, and so I'm like, oh, I might as well try it, and it's given me a lot of opportunities, which is really nice.
Good.
Fbla, I started my freshman year because when we have our freshman days at the high school, which all of like the 8th graders come into Bellevue West to like meet everyone.
Sure.
I met a senior who has been in Fbla his 4 years. He was doing this thing where we have a merchandise store essentially for Bellevue West, and we sell different clothing apparel, and he was selling it, and it really got me interested in Fbla because he had a path for what he wanted to do, and that is what I've learned with a lot of the members in Fbla. They create and learn on what they want to do, and it creates success for them.
Sure, how to turn that kind of into a business or into, business skills for after you graduate. Yeah. So what special projects do you guys have going on right now? First of all, thank you, because we know that you've been doing food drives for the Bellevue Pantry, and we love that. We're so grateful. So how did that come about?
So I'm doing this ribbon project because there's certain like ribbon projects that you can do, and mine is called Feed Nebraska.
Okay.
And so it's basically like you choose 3 different like tasks or events that kind of goes towards the community, and so you have to choose 3 different ones. And so one of them that I chose was like a half-court shot, so people pay to like be in the shot, and so that raises money. I just recently did an advisory food drive.
Okay.
So basically we just picked like 8 advisories, and they just competed against each other to see who would get the most. And then I'm also doing a community food drive, which is located at the Lead Center, since it's like a big area that most people would go to.
Center, right.
So a lot of people can go there and bring any like type of food that they want, and that's all going to the food pantry.
Okay, awesome. So that's good information. And again, we'll put all of the relevant social media pages and all of that on the screen so that you guys can check it out and see if you want to get involved. But that's good to know that. So are you collecting just at the Lead Center in Bellevue, or are you also collecting it at the school?
Just at the Lead Center at the moment, because that's like I feel like that's the biggest area that
a good
people
community
would go.
hub.
Yeah.
Right. How long have you been doing that project for the food pantry?
I started it like early January-ish when I first started it.
Okay.
And the advisory one was just like a day thing, and the community food drive is what I'm finishing up now, which I started that like late January, and it's going to February 13th.
Okay.
And so basically every week I go and pick it up and then drop it off at the Bellevue Food Pantry.
Yeah. Amazing. So we've got about 2 weeks left.
Yeah.
If anyone is interested in donating. Do you have like a goal of how much you'd like to collect, or are you just kind of doing as much as you can?
Mostly just doing as much as I can, but right now, can-wise, I've raised about 300 cans.
Okay.
My goal, since it is until like the 13th, is probably around like 330, 400 about, so hopefully I can get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and now our people at home that are watching, now you can go to the Lead Center and drop off some cans, some non-perishables, help these guys meet their goal. Do you have other projects coming up, or does that pretty much wrap it up for the year?
So we do have our composting project for the year.
Okay.
A few years ago, the Bellevue Public Schools District kind of cut off the recycling because it got really expensive. Mm-hmm. So Fbla has been trying to put composting back into Bellevue West. And we did a lot of that 2 years ago, right before we went down in COVID. But right now, we're just trying to work on putting that back into Bellevue West.
Very cool.
We also have Bellevue West Fbla. We always end up helping with March of Dimes because I know personally I have family members who were premature babies, and since March of Dimes always helps with families who have premature babies, it really hits close to home, and it's really nice knowing that there's other people that are willing to help, and we are planning on donating for that.
Awesome, that's amazing. Well, thank you guys for being here and telling me a little bit. So I am a Bellevue West alum myself. I was not in Fbla, so I knew a little bit about it, but not a lot. So it's been really fun to have you guys here and get some more info. The last thing that I want to touch on just real quick before we finish is if I'm just a member of the Bellevue community and I want to support FBLA, are there ways that we can do that, and how can we support you guys?
I'd say probably go follow like our social media sites. Anytime we post any events that we're doing, if you could like share that all over, spread the word, like donate money, like anything you can do to help.
All right, perfect. Well, again, thank you to our guests today, Michelle and Barry from the Bellevue Chamber of Commerce, and these guys from FBLA at Bellevue West. We loved having you here. Thank you again for all the work that you're doing for the community, for the food pantry especially. You know, you're keeping us, helping us keep the shelves stocked and keep people fed in our community. So we really appreciate that. And as always, thank you to all of you for your help in helping us keep people safe, fed, and housed. We will see you next time.